Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to the Simpsons Hit and Run. This doesn't rhyme with the music. Today we're gonna talk to the sea captain who I don't know the name of.
Chief Wiggum said there was some strange stuff going on around here. Have you noticed anything weird? You know, black sedans, guys with dark glasses.
Yar, maybe I've seen something and maybe I haven't. Render me a favor and it might jar me memory. Haha.
What favor?
I've got a shipment here of live mackerel. Can ye navigate the fishies to the finest restaurants in the Squidport?
Those poor fish! I mean, sure I'll help.
Yar, yar, now we're gonna be hunting for some fish and chips. Now there are 2 kinds of good fish. 1-pound fishies and 5-pound fishies. And no matter how many fishies we collect, it'll never replace the captain's Game Boy lost at sea. Yar, yar. Now all I have to deal with is me crippling depression. And, yeah, I've been there, sea captain. Oh, God bless you, my dear old man. Yeah, well, I mean, that's at least one difference between the original Simpsons Hit and Run commentary compared to the one I'm doing now. Is that, in the previous one, when I wasn't drunk, I sounded monotone and whatever, and then I took my medication, and now I'm full of energy, and by God, there's pre-2021 commentaries, and then there's post-2021 commentaries where I have energy and enthusiasm and enunciation for brain chemistry. But anyway, this is just another collect the things sugar me do, doing a bunch of missions for the sea captain, then sort of moving on to the races, and then we'll finally find Brother, Where Art Thou? Which I would have titled the previous part had I not already used that as a title for Resident Evil 2 when we tackled Claire's story. Kind of a shame, really. I will say, though, that, and kind of touching upon an earlier point in the commentary, it is a bit of a shame that they didn't actually go out of their way to get some of the guest stars back from, you know, some of the show's history. I mean, not necessarily in terms of, like, one-off guest appearances by celebrities, but I mean characters like, you know, Kelsey Grammer, who voices Sideshow Bob, you know, Marcia Wallace, who was Edna Krabappel. Again, they were still alive at this point in time, so this was before they passed away and all that, but I don't know, it's just a bit of a shame that we never really got to hear, you know, a lot of them in the game. What missions I would have had for you, I'm really not too sure, but even for some of the cast members that they do have, like, Harry Shearer, who I think is also the voice of Reverend Lovejoy, yeah, he doesn't appear in the game, which is quite odd.
Are you working here?
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose maybe they just couldn't really fit them in, or they just didn't really have a mission specific to them, but in any case, racing time. And one of the most specific memories I actually have of this was from another Simpsons Hit and Run playthrough by Hellfire Comes with Tom64 and Volk, where, for whatever fucking reason, and again, I think he might, yeah, there he is on the track right there. For whatever reason, Tom kept on having a fucking hate boner for Jimbo and continued to run him over. And, God, it was hilarious. Oh, poor Jimbo Jones. He gets the short end of the stick compared to all the other bullies from Kearney and Dolph, who barely gets anything, and then there's Jimbo, who keeps on getting run over. It's like, yeah, I love Grimby. Could you please get me some medical attention, dude? Yeah, well, maybe getting run over is what he deserves after taking all the copies of Bone Storm. But anyway, to kind of pad out for time as we pretty much race through this circuit, which is one of the more contentious ones, because you do actually need to build up a fair bit of speed for the specific shortcut to the race in order to, you know, jump over the ship, because again, if you don't do that, you pretty much fucked up the race, actually, so yeah, make sure you make that jump, otherwise restart, because you're pretty much going to have to circle all the way back around, then turn the car around by the time you get to the starting line, and again, that's just a race killer, really, so yeah. Make sure that you got enough speed and pick a car that's decent for the job, in which case we're taking the nerd car, which is pretty much a reskinned Kremlin from what the comic book guy was driving beforehand, so yeah, acquiesced really. A reskinned Fatmobile! Whee! Yeah, it is also entirely possible to fall off the side, and similar to a lot of other, you know, crashes, or if you jump off the pits yourself, yeah, you won't die, but you will, you know, take a couple of seconds to respawn, so that could potentially be a bit of a race killer.
Hi, Nelson. This is a surprise.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. I'll be your starting man for this mission.
Oh, well, isn't he a fancy little gentleman? Well, they did used to date after all.
3, 2, loser says what?
What?
Ha ha! 1, go!
Oh, Nelson, you cheeky bugger. And yet Lisa still ended up with Milhouse, and thus this is wrong. But yeah, this is also one of the more contentious races in and of itself, because this is the one where you basically need to use some of your reversal tactics. And again, if you can tell right up there, with if you can catch a glimpse of the Canyonero, yeah, this is also where we take control of Marge for Chapter 4. Yeah, that's where you kind of want to hit the brakes a little bit so you don't hit into the, well, little crash barrier. And holy shit, the Canyonero's a lot faster than it was when we took control of it, albeit very briefly in Homer's mission, so... Goddamn, Marge, you're holding out on us. Oh, well, then again, Marge does have a bit of a daredevil streak, if you could tell with, you know, that one episode where Homer gave up his rambunctious antics and jaws wired shut. I guess one of the more recent episodes, actually, that I haven't seen but I have heard about with, I think it was called Marge the Mini, where Marge apparently used to be a bit of a prankster, which I guess was there to explain where Bart got it from. I don't know, it might be worth checking out some of these episodes, because I have heard of a fair few decent ones from the recent run of the shows, so I don't know, maybe the recent show actually does have some sort of revival quality to it that sort of, you know, won the audience back. Again, I haven't really checked it out for myself, but I mean, there was a couple of episodes here and there from, I guess what I'll call the post-season 20 ilk that have sort of, you know, tempted my interest. I mean, there was Barthood, actually, which, you know, was one of the post-season 20 episodes that I have seen, which I did happen to quite like. There was that whole sort of, like, Great Gatsby parody that, had Mr. Burns getting ripped off by a gangster rapper, which I also remember seeing and found it to be kind of okay, mainly for the songs like, I got no money, which is true, cause Solidus-Skully got no money. If you got money, send it to me via my Patreon or PayPal. Fucking... No, I'm just fucking with you. I don't actually have any of those things because I do YouTube purely as a hobby, not as some fucking whatever thing. Acqueached. The point is, I do all of this for a hobby, because if I wasn't doing it as a hobby, I'd, well, be a slave to the schedule and probably just be churning out videos that, well, would not only be very soulless and passionless to me, but I think the quality would also suffer to you, because while my videos aren't of the highest quality, I do believe in what I'm putting out. Unlike Ralph, who still hasn't learned to count, but by God, he's trying. Solidus-Skully, the Ralph Wiggum of the YouTube game. Who even Maven? Anyway, straight race from A to B, from Z to C to she to signing C. Whatever. Anyway, to kind of talk about anything else at this stage, Lisa-centric episodes. There have been many throughout the show's history. Some good, some eh. One of the memorable ones to me, which actually does kind of tie into Lisa's costume, actually, with Lisa Cool, was, yeah, the summer of 442, where Lisa ditches her old, nerdy identity to become kind of cool in a 90s kind of way, which, was actually really chill. I don't know, it was a pretty solid episode, actually, which actually dealt with Lisa trying to fit in without being so overly bookwormy or trying to fight to save the animals or preaching to everybody. Well, then I suppose the other one that also comes to mind was Lisa the Skeptic, which was, you know, all about the see the angel, see the angel, see the angel, that ended up being a marketing ploy, but everybody was sort of kind of suckered in with the whole sort of religious overtones, really, which, whew, quite a solid episode, that, actually. I don't know, it's heartwarming to see skeptics destroyed like Patty and Smelma.
Principal Skinner! Bart's missing!
Bart's gone? What a tragedy. To get your mind off this terrible loss, which we all feel, why don't you run a few errands, or as I call them, grief helpers for me?
But Bart's only missing!
Well, looking for that little monster, treasure, can't help anything. You might as well pick up Mother's dry cleaning for me.
Principal Seymour Skinny Boy, or Armin Tanzarian, as that episode will lead you to believe. Which, I mean, to be completely honest, to kind of go into that whole Armin Tamzarian thing, like, yeah, it's an absolutely pointless retcon, but, I mean, again, beside the whole point of it just sort of being pointless status quo, changing whatever things not really sticking, I think the episode itself is actually quite decent, all things considered, especially compared to, you know, some of the seasonal rot stuff post-season 20 tends to go, but I don't know, why they exactly thought to retcon Skinner's origins to being something completely different, and then there's a real Seymour Skinner, I just have no idea. I guess its pointlessness is just sort of what justifies a lot of people's hatred, and I mean, I do kind of see it, but I don't know, like, in terms of, like, jokage to time-wastage, brain-rot television, it's I give it 4 brains out of 5. In terms of zombie television watching. Yeah, well. In any case, we're basically just fucking around doing chores for Skinner, and that's pretty much it, really.
Skinner's dinner.
Here, do you want to try a new crust?
Any decent episodes involving Skinner?
I'm a vegetarian.
Well, I mean, I suppose there is this whole thing with Edna Krabappel that they try to have a bit of a romance thing with, and I think in one season 15 episode they broke up, and then she got together with Ned Flanders, and then Marcia Wallace died, so they pretty much retired the character along with her, which is kind of saddening, but... Well, I mean, alas, that's just life. People die, and all the stars we used to know are fading away. Yeah, well, tide and time waits for the snowman, as the old saying goes. You know, like all play and no work makes Jill a dull girl. Oh yeah, here we go, we're gonna jump over- No! Oh, sadness of not being able to jump over the Springfield sign thing with Dr. Nick.
Principal Skinner's personal...
I wish I could do a good Dr. Nick, but alas, I could not.
Here's the principal's antifungal.
What a bizarro quack doctor. By the way, didn't Dr. Nick die in the Simpsons movie, so is his character technically dead in the show, or do they just sort of revive him and, like, never question it again? Because, I mean, I don't really recall, well, then again, I haven't really seen a lot of the post-season 20 stuff, so... Yeah, maybe Dr. Nick legitimately did die when the Springfield Dome exploded and he was killed by a giant glass shard. Bye-bye, everybody! Yes, and these time limits, even this early on in the game, they be getting a wee bit tight, but then again, this is the bonus mission of the chapter, so I guess that is to be expected, but oh god, my penis is getting clutched!
There. We've got Mother's laundry, dinner for Edna and me, and some personal items. Now, if you can just help me find a place that carries Mother's favorite canned aspic.
This is ridiculous. I can't keep doing errands for you. I've got to find Bart.
For helping me with my ridiculous errands, I suppose I owe you something. If you need help recovering your brother's body, living body, give me a call.
Thanks for delivering me catch of the day. Now, I can tell ye, I saw your brother.
Really? That's great.
Aye, he was in a long black limo, and ahoy! There's he drove!
Yes, it's time to destroy a limo with the old pirate in the seas. But yeah, this whole thing about Bart just sort of wandering about the place, to kind of go into context with what actually happened, Bart, he is technically back in Springfield, it's just that, you know, as with anybody who has experiences driving home in the middle of the night, being abducted by a strange beam in the sky, yeah, strange thing has happened to the mind, or people were just that crazy to begin with. By the way, the best way to actually take out that limo is, if you can sort of maneuver it off the pier right over there, then sort of get it trapped between the two piers, yeah, you can basically have the limo pretty much smash itself, you know, save you having to damage a car, and, you know, pretty much save yourself a wee bit of time, and, you know, taking it out no fuss, no muss. I mean, again, you do have plenty of time to destroy it regularly if you have a strong enough vehicle like the school bus. But I mean, putting all that aside, though, there are some easier ways to get the AI to pretty much screw itself over, which... Again, we don't really have a lot of time for the rest of this part, but you know what, I probably will save it for the next part, depending on how the AI is handled between console ports. Particularly with how the Xbox version handles it, but I'll say no more.
Oh God, I destroyed the limo and killed Bart.
No murderer ye be. He wasn't in the limo. He got out and he boarded that ship.
Can you take me there?
Nah, I hate the sea.
Then that must mean the sea captain, he is not really a man of the seas, yar. But anyway, the thing I was trying to talk about earlier is that basically AI between versions, I believe the PS2 was basically the one that was the worst of. The GameCube version, which, according to development history, actually got the least amount of love, is okay-ish, and the Xbox version tends to have the AI being a little bit more smarter than usual. At least based on some of the reviews that I've seen. Anyway, I'm Solidus-Skully, see you later.
Bart, I found you. Sedans, sedans, Bart, snap out of it. Oh, I gotta wake him up. Bart, how old are you? What's your favorite catchphrase?
Kiss my grits.
It's no use. His brain is even more broken than usual. All I can do is take you home and get you a diaper. I am the Lizard Queen!